Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to American Falls by Lancyboi and Farming Simulator 22. We are trying to make things happen, trying to get things done. We are on hard economy. We've also introduced some other bits and pieces there to make my life a little bit more difficult. But so far, so good for the most part. Ran into some challenges here and there, but we're getting it done. Yeah, so our Valtra, a little over 300 horsepower. It's been a good all-arounder tractor. I really actually quite like this tractor. I may not have full support on it, but in my opinion, it's not a bad tractor. I think it's actually kind of got some nice looks to it as well. But we need a seeder. We need to get grass in the ground. We've got a contract that's only at 16%, as you can see. We need to get that done. And if I can get those two things done today, before the end of the night, I'll be very happy. Would like to get more done, but we'll see how that goes. I have made an executive decision, and we have leased to own. I guess we can lease it as long as we need it. This Kokerling, I believe that's how you pronounce it, jockey. I've always liked this seeder. I haven't had a chance to use it, but I liked it ever since it came out. It's got really nice details. It's very nicely detailed. And it's got good specs. We can take a quick peek ski at it. Let's go into seeders. Of course, I ordered it in the Valtra matchy colors, which we can change at any time. But there's the Kokerling jockey right there. This Jockey 600. What an interesting name, Jockey. Stuck with the basic Trailerborg tires since money is important to us. Of course, made some color changes and added the old license plate on there. But like I said, in the future, we can always change colors out. It is 160 horsepower requirement, so we are perfectly fine there. It has 2,800 liters of seeds, which isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not horrible. That actually will cover us on quite a few fields on this map. It's a 6 meter, but it is 11 miles an hour, which I like. Yeah. What do y'all think? Something to go with? Let's get it hooked up and take a look at how this bad boy looks together. And then we got to get some seeds in it, and we need to get rocking on our field. Get our field planted. That'll be very, very good. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. Hope you all had a good Monday. It's been an interesting week for me. Some challenges yesterday made for a very long day. Ooh, I like that. Let's see that again. Oh, it's even got a nice little sound effect to it. I like that. Do we have hoses? Yes, of course we've got hoses. Oh, there's our seed. We need to get around and get some seed in here. And that looks pretty good together, though, I think. I think that's a pretty decent looking deal. Not bad. Like I said, we can always update the colors later if need be. Let's get bumped up to our seed and get what seed we have. I think we should have a total of what, 20, would we have 2,400 seed left? 1,400 seed. Okay. That should be enough to get our grass field taken care of. Let me go ahead and get grass selected before I neglect doing that. And that's about it. I don't know how exciting seeders can get, but that's about as exciting as I think a seeder's going to get. Oh, I got something funky going on. No, I'm all right. We're good. Raise that up. Get the seed brewing. And let's get off to the races. Get grass in the ground. Hopefully getting grass in the ground and leaving this pretty much probably as grass for a while is going to get our finances rolling a bit. Of course, the better yield we can get on the grass, the better off we're going to be. I've seen people do different things with grass. I've seen them leave it until it is full yield and fully grown. I think if you go that route, I think it's 3 cuttings a year, maybe 4, but I think it's 3. I think it takes 4 months to completely... You thought I was going to go in there, didn't you? I think so. Well, I'll check it out. I kind of forget what it is, but I've also seen people do more often, do cuttings more often. I'm going to overlap just a smidge so we don't lose any area here. But I've seen people do more cuttings than less cuttings, and yield-wise, it's, from what I've seen, it's very similar. Not a great deal of difference. So I don't know. I'm typically one to let it grow until it's fully grown, cut it, and do what you want to with it. And it's less work, you know. If you only have to mow it 3 or 4 times a year, I like that idea at least. Less work is better, I would say. Gives us more time to do other things and find other sources of income. I am being a little bit more picky than I usually am on this field. Like I said, just because I'd really like to make sure I get as good a coverage as I can here. We're gonna get a little bit of headland wrapping around, and maybe we'll throw on the GPS and use that. Now, supposedly, I think Field Calculator rated this at just over 1,000 liters for seed. And it is probably pretty close to that. We should definitely have enough seed to get this grass in the ground. Of course, then we're going to have to worry about, I'm going to guess we're going to have to worry about at some point, weeds. Liming is turned on. Field stones are turned on. Occasional plowing is turned on. So all the fun stuff that maybe I don't always do is enabled. Like I said, I'm not super concerned about the field stones. I don't want them to trash our equipment, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with field stones yet. Gonna have to figure out something to do with them. Make a little lime out of them, I guess. That might help us save a little bit of money. I wonder how long it takes to pay off, though. You know, to pay off a stone picker. If indeed that's what you're doing with your stones. I mean, I guess you don't have a lot of options. You either grind them down for lime or you sell them outright, I guess. But they don't sell for squat. And I'm going to guess on hard mode in particular, they don't sell for squat. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what kind of stone production we get. I haven't done field stones in a long time on Farming Simulator 22. I actually did them briefly when the game first came out, and then I kind of lost interest in them. Is that... Thought I saw some oddball colors over there. And I lost interest in Fieldstones pretty quickly, and I haven't gone back to them ever since. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think there are mods in the in-game mod hub that maybe make Fieldstones a little more useful, valuable, productive. Maybe we'll check on those a little bit. I don't want to make things too easy, though. Not on this map. I don't even know if we have access to a crusher straight away. I'm assuming we do. So yeah, this week started off a little bit hectic for me, needless to say. Had some outages at work. That's always a fun thing to start your Monday off with. Going into the office, cup of coffee, kind of thinking, well, let's hope Monday goes pretty well. Within 10 minutes, you find out that maybe it would have been better to stay in bed. It definitely makes the day go a little faster, though, that's for sure. Maybe not more pleasant, but certainly a little faster. I spent like 20 minutes looking at this Razer Axon software. It's some kind of wallpaper deal. I guess it gives you the ability to add fancy schmancy wallpapers to your desktop. Some of them are some of the wallpapers are animated, I guess, with sound. Some of them are static, blah blah blah. I don't know if you all are wallpaper freaks. I know some people that are and like to, you know, do the whole wallpaper thing and get color accents and make their desktop looking all fancy and whatnot. I don't know. I'm a little bit more of a simple kind of guy. I usually go through those things, spend time on them, think they look pretty cool, and then about, I don't know, the next day, I'm usually like, yeah, no thanks. I just go back to black. Back to black. I like a simple, solid black background. It just gets a little, it's just like too many colors and too many flashy things. Yeah, it doesn't really work for me. I don't even like icons on my desktop. I've seen some bad icon situations, man. Like people don't know what folders are, so they just use their desktop as their primary storage area. Oh, that would just drive me insane. Absolutely drive me crazy. I think we've got just a little bit of a strip here, and I'm thinking we might have just knocked out our grass. Let's just take a quick peek at our property. Yeah, that's looking pretty solid to me. I like it. Kind of excited. Needs rolling. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? 100% fertilized, but it does need rolling. Okay. Actually, that didn't seem like it took... That didn't take a whole lot of seed. I think that took less seed than I was expecting it to. That's kind of nice. I'll take that. We're just going to squirrel our way in here real quick. Get it out of the weather. And look what we have waiting for us. Absolutely lovely. Let's get this contract knocked out. I almost hit the GPS button. That would have been a big no-no. No GPS on contracts. Unless I buy the GPS, no go. I don't mind this this New Holland setup. This whole deal right here is not too shabby. I gave this planter some serious thought, but at the end, it just didn't seem to make sense with the price of it being what it is. And honestly, it seems like we are more likely to deal with regular grain crops than we are root crops and sunflowers and stuff. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know what direction we're gonna go in. We've only got hello, Mr. Train. We've only got one bit of land so far, and that's, like I said, gonna be pretty dedicated right now to grass. I'm hoping to get some money out of that. I haven't even looked to see what kind of financial return we're gonna get on grass and what's our best bet is. Normally, I'm gonna assume silage is going to be our best money maker. Of course, if we do silage, that's also going to require the most equipment. So I don't know, you know. It might not be worth doing that. It might be worth just doing straight baling, maybe tedding, maybe hay bales instead of just regular grass bales. I can't imagine grass bales are going to bring us a ton of money on this map, so. It seems like with mini games, a lot of games that you play, things like that are kind of figured out, you know, where grass bales are the easiest, take the least equipment, you're going to get the least money for it. Because a lot of times you see with on the forums, you know, a really common question is, you know, what's the best money-making crop? What's the best crop to make money? And a lot of times, when it comes to wheat versus barley versus canola, I think I'm forgetting one in there. Wheat, barley, canola, sorghum. Some yield more, but then pay less. So I think a lot of times they reasonably equal out. I'd be curious what you guys have found. If you have found any of the crops to be particularly better for money making. Maybe it depends on the map too, but I think most maps are pretty equal. When it comes to that, we're just going to give ourselves a little bit more room here on these ends, make life a little bit easier on ourselves. I was looking at some mods today briefly. Unfortunately, not for us to use on this map because they are PC Mac only, but, well, they're outside the Giants game hub. In-game mod hub. There was a pretty nice, couple nice looking mods I saw out there. There was a nice looking Valtra. Somebody did a bunch of add-ons to one. There was this, I like funny mods too. I like when people, I guess I call them kind of funny mods because they're not your typical. But out in King Mods, someone released this, it's some foreign deal. It looked almost like it's a bus. It's a small bus, but it's a bus, I guess. And it's a jazz or some foreign deal. And sometimes I'll grab those mods just because they look so different. And sometimes my expectations, obviously most of the time my expectations are pretty low, needless to say. But this one was surprisingly good. It actually had surprisingly good detailed. The model was surprisingly well detailed. The sound of the motor was surprisingly really good. The interior of the bus was, again, surprisingly good. And I see something like that, and I try to think of, man, how can I use that? Because that's actually a decent looking, you know, a decent looking mod that I would love to find a use for. But alas, I rarely do. They end up in my mod folder. They're usually pretty sizable. If they look good, they're usually pretty big files. And they sit in my mod folder and collect dust and just add, you know, more girth to it. Like it needs more bloat at this point. My mod folder is massive. I really need to consider. I need to do some maybe a spring cleaning. I don't know. It's just huge. Just absolutely huge. And I don't know if that really affects game performance. I've never considered, at least for me, maybe on lower end PCs, maybe it does, but I think game performance is a lot more affected by how many you have enabled in the map you're playing. If then, and if you're, you know, a little low on RAM, I suppose maybe, but most people aren't these days. You know, most people are running at least 16, if not 32. Somebody I know is running considerably more than that. Lucky. I won't name names, but they know who they are. They know who they are. Nowadays, unless you have special case scenarios and stuff. Now, granted, I'm the last person to tell anybody that they have too much. All right, go for it. You know, load that puppy up. You know, if I had the budget, I would load it up. I mean, I always tell people, if they ask me, you know, hey Brad, you know, I'm building a PC, what should I look for? What should I do? And I always tell them the first thing you have to do is get a budget. And you're going to want to get the best things you can for your budget. It's not complicated. Get a budget and build the best you can. And keep in mind as well that it's always nice to have a PC that you can build on later. So if you don't max everything out, that's okay. You know, a year from now or 2 years from now, when that processor you couldn't afford at the time that you built your PC comes down in price by 100 or 150 bucks or whatever it is, you know, grab it. That's what I do, at least. I normally, I don't go low and I don't go the highest. I go kind of mid-range, and then I just pretty much upgrade throughout the next 2 or 3 years until I max out my system, and then it's time to start all over again. And I'm kind of at the point right now where that's exactly where I'm at. I'm gonna have to start all over again. There's one processor higher than what I have for my socket. It's just not worth getting for what I do. So it's going to be time to new motherboard, and then of course when you start going into new motherboards, new sockets, now you're talking new RAM, so you can't bring your RAM over. If you were smart, or at some point if you had an opportunity, you bought a big enough power supply that you could carry over. Your hard drives you can usually carry over. But starting over kind of sucks. My kids like it because they end up with a better computer than what they have, because it's always dad's hand-me-downs. And I kind of feel bad about that to some extent, because I honestly think that they probably are harder on their computers than I am. The games they play can be pretty high spec. People are a lot of times, though, surprised to hear that simulators, some simulators, not all of them, but some simulators are pretty demanding on a PC. And I've had people say, you know, that they want to get into farming simulator or maybe even a truck simulator. And they start looking at the specs and they're kind of surprised. They thought basically these things would run on, you know, Intel HD graphics. Well, I got news for you. If they do, they're not going to be pretty. So these simulation games, like I said, not all of them, but ones like this are not, they're not on the low end of computer specs, that's for sure. And I think the next farming simulator, I'm hoping not, but I think it's going to knock some people out of the ball game. And I think I talked to Tin Man and I had a little conversation through the had a little conversation. Whoa, Brad, you just hit the reverse button, buddy. Had a little conversation about that in the chat or in the comments section, and you know, he made a good point. It's the next version of Farm Sim is probably going to knock all but the latest consoles out of the game, and that's unfortunate. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be able to play the console version. I mean, unless you've got a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, you're probably done. Now, of course, for those people that can afford the latest and greatest all the time, you know, there's benefits to that, because now these game developers don't have to support older hardware, so they can take advantage of the newer stuff. So things look better and things hopefully play better and all this stuff that we hope gets better when it usually doesn't. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, but how often does that really happen? At least not without growing pains, that's for sure. I'm still on an now it's considered an old iPad Air. I forget how old it is. It's probably 4 or 5 years old, I believe. 5 years old. Ancient technology. I'm still on an iPhone 10. iPhone 10. What is it? iPhone 10s Max. The big 10. The big iPhone 10. And that thing is ancient technology compared to these new, you know, the new 15, even to the 14. But dang, man, these things aren't cheap. You can drop $1,000 easy. You know? And I talk to people like, oh no, I don't do that. I just get, you know, every 2 years I get a new one from the phone company. It's like, they're not giving those away. You may feel like they're giving those away, but they're not giving those away. I got news for you. They're not in it to lose money. I saw some dude on YouTube. I don't know why it caught my attention, but it was like, I think because of the coffee maker. But anyways, he was talking about these pod systems, right? And how, you know, people get drawn in with pod systems, with Keurigs and Nespresso machines and stuff like that. But he mentioned the Razer blade deal, you know, and how smart it was for Gillette, you know, originally to come up with these, you know, basically giving away the Razer handles. It's like we talked about inkjet printers, you know, and this kind of stuff you pay for it big time over time. I refuse to buy another inkjet printer. I don't know that I don't know that I will ever really own another inkjet. I might at some point, if my life demands it. I might get a laser jet, probably a monochrome, because at least those things make some sense. Brad, you're out of seed, buddy. Well, let's get you folded up. We need to go, I guess we need to go buy some more seed. Lovely. All right, everyone, I am going to go get some more seed. We still have quite a bit to do here, don't we? We should have plenty of time today, though, to get this done. Did I just go out the stinking wrong way again? I'm blocked in over here. I always do that. Always do that. This field always confuses me. But yeah, I'm going to call it good. I'm going to go get some more seed. And I'm probably going to get this field knocked out so that we can get this contract out of the way and get moving on into April. How many months are we on this now? Is this the sixth or seventh month? I think, do we start in August or September? I forget. Anyways, we just need to keep things moving. Ooh, this thing's a little light in the front end. We need to just keep things moving. Keep the money coming. Don't hit pedestrians. At least try not to. Definitely get to the store before it closes. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Because we've got... What is this thing? Okay. I didn't realize... Hello. Hello, Mr. Seeds. Oh, that's a big one. You stay there, buddy. You stay right there. I hope nobody comes along and takes you. I don't think anybody here is interested in stealing a pallet of seeds, but you know how it is. Well, that's handy. I kind of forgot we had that. That's kind of nice. That should definitely, I would think. It's only, boy, it's only 600 liters. I don't know if that'll... that's not going to finish this field off. We need more than that. But anyways, I'm going to get it finished off. You all have an awesome... Oh, this thing's light in the front end. You guys have an awesome Tuesday. And we'll be back here tomorrow to continue on our journey. Take care of yourselves. Do me a favor, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Also, feel free to subscribe. That'd be awesome. Welcome to any new subscribers, and feel free to become a member if you want. Also, our Discord server is always open, and that's a freebie, so feel free to join that. But most importantly, you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.